Fuck. Yep, that's me. Guess who didn't press record on the camera? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, I did manage to record some of it, so please stick to the end. Enjoy. Hi, this is Isabel Florence, and you are listening to You Are Light podcast, a safe space where we talk about mental health and well-being. Hello, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to talk about friendship. I personally believe that the modern world has put a big pressure on romantic relationships, and because of this, we have let go of the idea of finding love through our friendships. And I think that can be really detrimental to our health and well-being. We hear time and time again that loneliness is at its worst right now. And it has to do with this idea that life should be individualistic and that independence is the most important thing, and we should strive to build for the sole purpose of our own enjoyment rather than everything being shared. With the concept of possession, having a want to have your own house, to have your own car, to have your own things, your own very successful profession, we let go of the importance of connection. And I think this is a big reason why so many people are depressed nowadays. I found myself for a very long time living in a big city where I had a lot of relationships, but I felt very lonely. So I try now to understand what it is that makes me feel connected to other people, because I know that it's not solely being around other people. Before the 18th century, the idea of marriage was completely different to what it is now. It wasn't to create a partner for life. It wasn't the sole source of connection and love and intimacy. A lot of marriages were arranged and decided according to status. And so the search for love in friendships, the search for connection in friendships was perhaps more common. I think nowadays there is this expectation for your partner to meet all of your needs, for them to be the sole person in your life. And I think that can be dangerous because we can never be everything to anyone. We can be a lot, but we can't be everything. So it's really important to cultivate our friendships, look for new friendships, new connections, and prioritize community. If you look at the blue zones where people live the most, community is at a very high level of priority for them. They practice a lot of hobbies with the community. There is a lot of faith that involves people meeting up to pray or to sing, being close to people around you, hugging your friends, hugging your loved ones, feeling intimacy with the people around you boosts your immune system. It allows you to live a healthier life. It betters your mental health. It lowers the risk of depression. Hugging someone can even increase the level of white blood cells in your body. It can lower the blood pressure because it reduces anxiety and stress, and it releases oxytocin. So community is very important. Not only the partner that you have in your life, but finding friendships that you feel connected to. And again, it doesn't mean being surrounded by people all the time. It means feeling connected, feeling like you belong, feeling taken care of, feeling safe and loved. And I think to be able to do that, you have to establish first what it is that you actually need, what it is that you search for in connections. For me personally, it is very important to have a few people in my life that I really trust and I really feel like I can be myself with fully. So I don't need a lot of people, but you might need more than I do. So first, bringing some awareness to what it is that you need might be beneficial. And be clear with the people around you whether they are the people that you are choosing or not. If you are, for example, a people pleaser and you meet someone and they really want to be friends with you, but you don't feel a connection or you don't feel like your values align, don't make an effort. Because if you try falsely to show that you really like this person, that you're really enjoying your time with them, they might get the wrong idea and they might cling to you, and that's not fair to them. I'm not saying to be rude to anyone, but just be honest, be real, be true to how you feel in the moment. If I am around people and I'm not loving the conversation, it's not firing me up, I will be smiling, I will be gentle, I will be caring, but I won't pretend that I'm having the best time of my life. And I actually see that behavior as respect. I'm not pretending, I'm not lying to them. I'm just being honest, with care and with kindness. So first of all, don't people please your way into friendships you don't want. Second of all, you don't need to have all your values connected to the people that you want to be core in your life. It's normal to have friendships that fill a different type of personality of yours. So for example, you might have a friend that's the one that you have fun with. And then you might have a friend where the conversations are very deep and philosophical. And you might have a friend that you know if you need something, they will be there for you. And if you are crying, they're the ones you call because they have the right advice. So different friendships will give you different things, and you shouldn't be looking for someone who's perfect. There's a balance between having someone that you feel you want in your life because they will add to your life. They will not take away your energy, but also not expect every friendship to be perfect because none will. Nobody's perfect. You're not perfect. And then look at your friendships. If you feel like you are lacking people in your life, if you feel like there is points that you need to find someone to connect through, then you can do a few things to find these people. It's very important to believe that you can make friends. There's a lot of people in the world, and it's very beautiful how adaptable we are as human beings. So remember that you can always create a new community wherever you go. The thing that you need is people around you. It's not specific people. So we don't attach ourselves to specific people in our lives. We understand that they can come and they can go. We understand, however, the value of having people around. So remember, you can build communities wherever you go. How can you build a community? How can you make more friends as an adult? First of all, through hobbies that you love. It's natural. You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to feel uncomfortable. You're going to have to start conversations with strangers. And that's fun. You shouldn't be scared, because what's the worst thing that can happen? They don't like you. And that means that they're not the right people for you. Simple, right? So let's remember, okay, I feel like I lack people in my life. What kind of people are you lacking? What kind of people do you want to find? What kind of hobby would that kind of person practice? Go and do some of it. Join an exercise class. Exercising, moving with people is so powerful, and it's such a beautiful way to build a community and meet people. You can meet people because of the location where you are, because of where you live. So for example, I live by the beach. When I go to the beach to walk my dog, I end up meeting people that are walking their dogs. There's a few restaurants around where I live. I will meet people that live around here. There's coffee shops. I will meet people in the coffee shops. So you can find people through hobbies. You can find people through exercise and movement. You can find people from where you are, your location. And nowadays, you can even find people through social media. One of my best friends now is someone who reached out to me through social media, through Instagram, to be interviewed in my podcast. We did the interview, we met up, we became best friends. So it's natural to look at the negative part of social media, but it's actually a beautiful way to communicate and build your community, because you can be very specific in what kind of person you're looking for. You can look at the tags of places around you, what kind of people have been around where you have been. You can look at the hashtags that people are using. You can look at accounts that people are following. And if you are following similar accounts, you probably have similar interests. So it's really easy to meet people through social media. Facebook groups as well is a great way to meet people. For example, I'm vegan and I'm part of vegan groups in different places that I've been. So even when I've been traveling, sometimes I have met people through Facebook groups. Just make sure you're safe and that you are going to public spaces to meet people. But it's usually a group of people anyway, so you know you'll be safe. Social media can be so helpful to make new friends. You have to have some courage to reach out to people. You have to put yourself out of your comfort zone and you're going to learn from that. So it's a great practice. You can obviously also meet people through work, whatever you do. There's going to be people there. Invite someone for a coffee. Invite someone for a meal in your house. If you have a dog, let them know, look, I walk my dog that day. Do you want to join? Oh, I'm going to this exercise class. Do you want to join? It's a little bit scary in the beginning, but once you've done it enough, you understand that some people just want connections in the same way that you do. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not the right person to be your friend. But you will never regret getting to know someone. Everyone has something to teach us. And it's really beautiful to connect with different kind of people. Another thing that I think is really important to remember about friendships is that you have to put your effort into them. When you are just friends with the people that you work with, or for example, when you're at school, it's so easy because you see those people every day. It's very easy to keep the friendship. But as our lives change, as we all find partners and people start their families and some people move away and some people change their jobs, it gets a little bit harder to keep your friends. And it's very easy to have that mentality of, oh, nobody ever calls me. Nobody ever wants to know how I am. Are you calling people? Are you asking people how they are? If you choose the people that are really important to you, put an effort into them. Message them now and again. Call them. Make sure that you are being proactive about keeping that person in your life. Because if you have chosen them, it means that they have a huge value. I feel like the more I find myself and understand who I am, the more I limit the people in my life because I know exactly what kind of people I want. And so when I choose those people, I want them to know that they've been chosen. I want them to know how much I love them and care for them, how important they are for me. So be proactive in your friendships. Another really important thing to remember in friendships is to stay true to yourself. Be honest about who you are and how you feel. And this is obviously difficult because it means that you will be vulnerable now and again. But the friendship will become deeper when you do so. If you are not sharing how you feel, for example, if you're angry, your friend will pick up on something. They will know that something's wrong. And then resentment is built. They won't trust you as much. So always be honest about how you feel while being kind and compassionate. I'm someone who really struggles with conflict, really struggles with it. So I have to always remember it is better to have the conflict and find a resolution and become stronger for it than to suppress what I feel. Because most of the times, relationships, friendships, or romantic, they will end because of build-up resentment. So be true with your friends, with your loved ones. I know it's very difficult, but at least try. And the last thing I would say is try to keep the small interactions in your life present. It makes a huge difference to live in a place where you feel like you belong. To go to the same coffee shop every day and see the same people every day. And not only just order your coffee, but ask them how they are. Ask them, how is their day? What is the highlight of their day so far? Get to know them a little bit. Small interactions in our lives make a huge difference in how we feel about ourselves. And it helps us to feel less lonely. Really, really does. So when you're going into a bus, instead of being on your phone, look at the driver and say thank you. When you are going into the cinema, look at the person who is selling you the ticket. Ask them how they are. When you go to a restaurant, look at the waiter. Say thank you very much. Ask them how they are. Sometimes they'll just be busy and not want to have a conversation, but small interactions really helps us feel connected. It helps us feel like we belong in the world that we're in. I'm going to do a second episode about friendships because there's more that I want to talk about. Surprisingly, not. So I'll see you next week. Please subscribe to the podcast if you enjoy it. And if you really like it, please leave a 5-star review. It means the world to me. This week, try to reach out to someone you love, a friend of yours, and share how you feel about them. All right? I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. All the links are written down on the show notes, as well as resources for anyone struggling with their mental health. Don't forget to subscribe so you're notified when we release new episodes. Also, feel free to share our podcast with your friends and family. And if you'd like to get involved, explore our content or support our work, visit our website www.yourlight.earth. That's yourlight.earth. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at u.r.light. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.